Hi, welcome to this SQL tutorial video, and today I am doing a video, an introduction to joins. We're going to talk about what joins are, how we go about writing joins, the rules that are around using joins. It's an introduction, so we're just going to cover the basics of joins, so it's just in the joins that we're looking at today. But they're the joins that you probably use most. So to get started, joins are ways of getting information out of more than one table in SQL. Generally speaking, the tables that you're going to get the information out of will have some sort of common link. And you use that column link to join these tables and get more information in one SQL extract. So let me start by doing an example. On screen, I've got two standard selects, one from the employees table here and one from the offices table here. And actually what I want to do, if I run them both, what I want to do is I want to return data, employee data as well as office data in the same set of results. And in order to do that, I need to have the employee table and the office table in the same SQL block, in the same bit of SQL. So to do that, those are two separate tables. In order to make that happen, we need to join those two tables. So these tables have got to have some sort of common link to them. And if we look at our employees table, we have a column called office. And you can see these codes here that are alphanumeric with 2 characters and 2 numbers. And if we look at the offices table, we've got this office code column, which has a similar alphanumeric code here. And it's likely that those are the joins that we need to use. If we look at the other columns, they aren't what we're looking for. This is the column. It's quite obvious. They're the columns that we need to use to link these two tables. So syntactically, this is what we do. I'm just going to get rid of those results. First of all, we should give both of our tables an alias so that when we're referencing these columns, because we're now using more than one table, we are going to reference the columns that we're interested in. So I'm going to start with the employees table. I'm going to give it an alias of EM. Then the syntax to join a second table or another table is to do inner join. And then the table name, in this case it's offices. And we're going to give it a OFC alias. I'm just going to get rid of that. We then need to tell it the columns that we've found that will link these two tables. So we do that by saying on, and we give it the column name. So if I go to EM and then do dot, this is now listing all of the columns in our employees table, and it was the the office column I was interested in. And we say the office, employees office equals OFC dot office code. Now if I run that, we now get one set of results. It is showing us everything from our employees table and everything from our offices table. And that's fine. We've got select star. So because we're looking at employees, then offices, it shows the employees first, then all the office data. And also it only shows us, because we're doing an inner join, which is kind of the most basic join, it only shows us the data where there is a valid office code that matches a valid office code in the offices table. There's more to be said about that, but I'll do that in a different video. So for now, although our results are slightly less than I was expecting, it's because of the office code and office code join here. So if I actually just take us back and look at our employees table, if we look in here, we've got some employees that don't have an office at all, and those will certainly be missing. So as soon as I run this, they are missing. And also other ones are missing where the office code is BR01, and I imagine that's because there isn't an office with a code BR01. I just do a select star from offices. So there isn't a BR01 office code here. So for these, there won't be joins for those, so those will be missing as well. So when you do an inner join, it only returns the data that has a link that you're looking for. So the office equals the office code. And if that link doesn't exist, that data doesn't get returned. Now let's think about what we actually want to do now is return just some of the columns of data that we want. So I want to see the employee name. I want to see the employee office. And I want to see the office name. And also I want to see if the inactive flag or the active flag rather of the employee. So at the end I'm going to put active. Now active here is highlighted. It's because in both tables we've got a column called active. So by listing active, it doesn't know which table you are referring to. So you must, these prefixes are essential when you're dealing with more than one table. As soon as I give it a prefix, SQL says, okay, I understand you want the active column from our employees table, I can do that. And also then I can say, show me the active column from the offices table as well, and that's fine, it will return that as well. Now let's think about adding another join. So as well as office, we've got department in our employees table. Rerun that. And there's department that we can see here. I've got a table called departments. So if I do a select star from departments and I run both of those, we've got 3 departments with this alphanumeric code. And in employees table, we've got this column called department. That to me looks like it should be the join that will join these 2 tables. So I'm going to use that. So underneath that join, I'm going to say inner join departments, give it an alias, and I'm joining it on my employee, join it to my department code. And what I can also do now is, yeah, I'm referencing these specific columns, but for the department, I want to see everything in the department table. So I can do de.star, and it will return me all of the columns that I'm interested in and all of the department data, because I've just put a star in there, so everything's getting returned. One last thing then. We've done 2 inner joins to our employees table, looking at office and department. But in the offices table, we have something called city. So if I run that, we've got this code here called city. And I've got a table called cities. So there's my cities table, and there's the city code in the offices table. That to me looks like our join. So I'm going to add another inner join. And the purpose of this example is to show you that, yep, I've got this table joining to these 2, but I don't have to use this table. I can use any table so far that I've listed. I can use any table to use for a future join. So I want to join my cities table on ofc.city equals. And again, I'm going to do ci.star to return everything. So as long as I've previously listed a table here, I can use any of the columns in that table for any future joins. Logically, they've got to exist in that order. So if I take this and I move it up here, it's going to have a moment because it says, hold on, I can't link to something called OFC City because that doesn't exist. And logically, it doesn't. The only thing that currently exists is EM, and I'm trying to create CE. OFC doesn't logically exist in that order. So it's got to show it in the correct order to logically kind of make sense. One final thing, now that I've got all of these tables in place, I can use any column in any of these tables in my conditions. So I can say where em.inactive equals 0. Or I could say de.department name, like actually I'll do office name then for example. So I can use any column in this set of tables in my conditions. Okay, that's the end of this introduction to joins. Inner joins, I hope there was something there that was helpful to you. Please leave any feedback, any comments, and I'll reply. Thanks a lot for your time. See you next time.